fucking eat my words. I fucking eat my words, didn't I? Fucking eat my goddamn bullshit words. The Vectus went from 0.92 to 0.85. Why? Hey, what's up you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today we are back with another installment of the weekly Nightwave. Now, for those of you guys who have absolutely no clue what that is, it is the series where we go ahead and take a look at the Nightwave missions available for the week, and we give suggestions as to how to either efficiently take them on or have a little bit more fun with them. Now, this week, I'm going to be doing a little bit of bitching attached to them because I saw some and I was like, oh, this is really making my guts turn. But before we jump into that, I also wanted to go ahead and add that we will also be taking a look at the Riven Disposition changes in this video as well. Mainly because of the fact that I have been super duper busy and I really have not gotten a chance to go and overlook them. So you might see me get even more salty as we go through this episode. However, we're going to start off with a little bit of fun, because as you guys know, we did get a specific emote this week when it comes to the Nightwave, and that is the wolf howl. So as you can see right here, you let out a little howl, which is completely silent. Now, I don't know if my audio is like turned off for that specific thing, but I mean, if you're gonna give us the wolf howl, can we get the wolf howl sound effect too? Like where, or maybe like some like, I don't know, some like energy effects coming from the mouth, maybe some like little, you know, like ripples of energy or something. I don't know. I'm feeling a bit sad, but you know what's making me feel a little bit better, okay? So this is something that I didn't realize was a thing, and I'm super juiced now. So maybe you guys didn't realize that it was a thing too. We now have scenes in our Landicraft. So we can do the festive holiday ones, which you can't quite see here. Can I walk around? Am I allowed to walk around? Can I, no, I can't walk around? Hold on. Let's go take a look at it up here real quick and see if it maybe affects it here. Let's go to landing craft, and then let's go customize landing craft. No, not customize landing craft. Interior, select the scene, and there's the festive decorations. But if you note, and this is, you know my whole tragic thing is I leave up my Christmas decorations to remind me how much I don't have my life together. But they've added something different. These Spring Festival interior decorations, look! It's all of these little Chinese lanterns or some sort of Asian lanterns. Listen, I'm a bad Asian, so I don't really know what culture they come from. But just in case you wanted to go ahead and do that, that is available for you. I am assuming for free because I sure as hell didn't pay for them. But I'm going to leave up my festive decor just to, you know, reinforce the fact that I really need to get my life together. So without ado, let's go ahead and jump into this week's Nightwave missions. Hi Nora, how are you doing? So let's begin with the daily. We have Detonator, kill 150 enemies with blast damage, no problems there. Animator, fully socket 3 Ayatan sculptures. We're gonna revisit this. Let me know if you guys are kind of irritated with that. Enhance, pick up 8 rare mods. Invader, complete 9 invasion missions of any type. We're gonna talk about this one because this is where my blood starts to kind of go up a little bit. Jailer, complete 3 capture missions, no big deal. Polarized with Forma 3 times. You already see me rolling my eyes. Venus Fisher, catch 6 rare servofish in the Orb Valis. Venus Miner, mine 6 rare gems in the Orb Valis. Night Terror, complete 10 Nightmare missions. Notice I didn't say Nightwave this time. Thank you guys for keeping me on my best. Sortie Expert, complete 3 sorties. And then we also have unlock 10 relics. So there's a lot of not too bad overlapping things right here. Like you can go ahead and take a look at Sortie Expert, and that might go ahead and do some of your capture missions for you. So you don't have to worry about that at all. Then of course you can take on both Venus Miner and Venus Fisher at the same time. Just have a nice little moment out in the plains. Maybe go ahead and catch up on some Game of Thrones, because as you know, Game of Thrones is coming up very, very soon. Or maybe this week's episode of American Gods, because you guys know I'm living for that one. And then of course we have the Nightmare missions. Let me know if there are any specific Warframes that you like for certain Nightmare missions. Now me, you know, I'm just gonna do 0 arrow energy or energy drain ones with Hildred and then just call that one a day and not really stress. I also found that Saren is really, really good for the vampire ones as long as you're spreading her spores, because legitimately it just kills everything in a big massive wave. So I really like her for that as well. But if you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and leave that down in the description box below. Unlock 10 relics. You could probably do some capture missions while you're unlocking the 10 relics, so you kind of have a little bit of an overlap there as well if you wanted to be efficient in that way, shape, or form. But can we talk about Invader? And this is where the bitching kind of starts. Complete 9 invasion missions of any type. Okay, I get it's 9 missions of any type, but why is this only 3,000 standing? It's the same way that I feel about Orb Valis, or like any of the bounty ones, Orb Valis bounties, Plains of Eidolon bounties. Why are we doing 8 of those? And those are like multi-stage quests, right? Multi-stage ones. And legitimately, we only get 3,000 for those as well, but we can go over here and just do 3 capture missions, and that's 3,000, you know, 3,000 standing too. I don't get that. There's a bit of a disconnect, right? 9 invasion missions for 3,000 standing, as opposed to 3 capture missions, which are like way easier when it comes to standing. And then of course the Orb Valis and the Plains bounties being 8 when they're like multi-stage ones. I really genuinely feel like if they want to keep those as 3,000s, then they should at least award us completion for each stage of the bounty. Because what really happens is we just do the lowest level bounty, try to knock them out as fast as possible without falling asleep, and then move on with our lives being bitter and angry like I clearly am. I'm just kind of like, it's a lot of work for very little standing, and it doesn't feel balanced with the rest of what they're asking for. So the Itan sculptures, if you guys do... This sounds cruel and mean. Hopefully, they did knock it. I believe they knocked it down from 5 Itan sculptures to 3 Itan sculptures, and maybe when you do your 3 sorties, I don't want to curse you, but maybe you'll get those 3 Itan sculptures from there. Just make sure that you're keeping on top of picking up all of your little Itan stars to make sure you can go ahead and deck those out. The other one that I really want to bring attention to is Polarized. This irritates the shit out of me. I'm gonna say it like a million times over, because legitimately, if you're asking us to use resources that sometimes we have to pay for, okay? Because maybe we're all out and then you expect us to go like run, farm something, hopefully get the item, then get the thing to build the item, then build the item, which takes a day, and then polarize something. I think that's a lot to ask. So in my head, I'm like, if you're gonna ask us to do the polarized, you should refund those forma. I don't know if that's too much to ask, but I genuinely kind of feel like if you're gonna ask us to spend our resources on things that because I'm done polarizing things. I don't need to polarize any more things. I've already polarized my Equinox. I've polarized all of the little, prime weapons that came along with it. I polarized the wolf sledge. I am like formed out. I literally have to buy forma now, or like go into missions and try to craft them and do all of that kind of stuff. Listen, I don't mind doing all of that, but I'm using resources that I could use for something else. If at the end of this, you could refund those 3 formas, or at least refund 3 forma blueprints, that would be nice, because I just feel like it's putting a strain on the resources that I want to hold on to. So that's my bitching for this week. Let me know if you guys agree, if you guys think that's fair. But I also want you guys down in the comments below to let me know what has been your most dreaded of the Nightwave missions that you guys have run into. Right now, for me, it's any of the 8 bounty ones in any of the open world zones. Those ones literally make me puke in my mouth, and then I want to pass out on the table, and I kind of cry a little bit. So now with all of that out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the Riven Disposition. So if you guys are done, y'all just wanted to see this for the week, y'all can skedaddle. But let's see if I get a little salty, or maybe I get a little sweet on the Riven Disposition changes. Alrighty, so I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I have revealed the hidden content once or twice before, but I haven't actually sat down, read, and absorbed what those changes meant. So I'm kind of excited and kind of dreading, because last time, as you guys know, the Euphona took a hit. to its Riven Disposition, which made my Riven no longer a unicorn Riven and crushed my soul. So let's see if DE Connor is going to be at it again. So as you can see, this was a post on Tuesday. And it says, Hail Tenno, as mentioned in our previous Riven workshop, the Equinox Prime Access, which just released, brings it with a first in a series of regular Riven Disposition tweaks. These changes should be live across all platforms shortly. A full breakdown of the changes can be found below. So let's take a look at the primaries. Oh, straight out the gate, it hurts. I have a really good Arcoplasmor Riven, and maybe I'll take a look at it towards the end of this video. And it goes down from 0.7 to 0.6, which isn't super major, but at the same time it's kind of like, did you really need to though? Did you need to? We have the Amprex going from 0.85 to 0.7. Ooh, that's a pretty chunky hit. I don't know about too many people who are running Amprex these days though. Let me know if you're one of them down in the comments below. We've got the Argonac. Oh, thank God. Like, nope, I don't know anybody who's using the Argonac, so like it got a little bump, so congratulations. The Baza has gone from 1.1 to 1.0, which does make me a little sad, but that's not a massive... Is it a massive hit? It's a hit, but it's not a massive one. The Boltor has gone up, which is actually pretty good for the Boltor Prime and the Telos Boltor. That's actually nice for the both of them because they're decent weapons. I won't say they're the greatest weapons, but they're decent weapons. And with this bump, if you've got a good Riven for it, you should definitely double check it. Oh! My love! The Bratton has gone from 1.01 to 1.1. Now, I have a thing about the Bratton. There's so many good semi-automatic weapons out there, or no, fully automatic rifles out there. But there's something about the Bratton that I feel is just very classic. I love the way it feels in your hands. It's just a good, solid weapon. So it's nice to see it get a little bit of a buff, including the Burst On, because Burst On Prime is one of my favorites as well. There's Ceranos. Listen, Ceranos Prime, like, I'm feeling kind of juiced off of this because legit, the Ceranos Prime got a nice buff, and now with the Riven changes, it's getting even better. Then I looked and saw the Corinth got a nerf. Well, not a nerf, but a little hit to its Riven Disposition. That's not too bad, but I am sad to see it. I don't feel like there's a lot of people that use the Corinth though. So I'm like, was that really necessary, DE? The Daikyu, yeah, the Daikyu needed some love. I know that there are some diehard Daikyu fans out there. So this should definitely make them happy. The Dara Vandal, it was okay. I always felt like the Dara was just an okay weapon, and I don't feel like a 0.3, like I don't feel like a little increase, like a 0.7 increase. Oh, no, a 0.9 increase is really gonna make me juiced over it. Wait, no, wait. I'm looking at the Daikyu, sorry. The Dara, yeah, it's a 0.5 increase is not gonna make me, like, go gaga over it. But the Dread did go up from 0.9 to 1.1, and I've got a juicy Dread Riven, too. Oh, makes me happy. Ferox, is anybody using the Ferox? I remember that I always thought in my head Ferox is like a Corpus Bow, and then they released the lens, and I was like, no, that's a Corpus Bow. But it played very, very similarly. The Gorgon... Some of the OG weapons, like the Gorgon and the Grakata, just got some love, so a 0.5 increase there. The Grakata got a 0.5 increase as well. The Heck! Wait, I don't even have a Riven for my Heck. I'm just happy that the Heck got some love. I'm like, because... Oh! And underneath the Heck, the Hema got some love. I will need to re-roll my Riven. I'm excited, because my Riven... Because the Hema doesn't necessarily need a Riven, but my Hema is already really fucking good, so I just have a Riven on it that's kind of like half okay. I think it's got like some flight speed on there or some bullshit like that. So maybe we'll need to re-roll that. The Ignis. So many people. I don't know what it is. I'm just not that into the Ignis. Maybe it's a lot of the Saren players out there that use the Ignis to like spread their spores and whatnot. But I did have a, like, that I definitely saw coming, like going down like 0.1. Yeah, it's 0.1. Going down 0.1, I could definitely see that. Ooh, someone took a hit. The Javlock went up from 1.1 to 1.2. I haven't played with the Javlock in a very, very long time, but I do remember it getting a buff that I think when I tested it was actually halfway decent. So that might be something that I need to revisit, and I'm pretty sure I do have a Riven for that. The Lanka. Some of y'all running your status Lankas, you know who you are. Hopefully your Rivens are still good because it is only a 0.1 change, but let me know if it's been a dramatic hit for you. The Latron. The Latron is the weapon I wanted to like, and I've always wanted to like, but I've just never could get into it, but it's looking juicy, so congratulations. Mutilus Cernos has got, why is it a 0.9? Why is it a 0.9 increase? Well, I mean, I guess it's because it went from 2.6 to 0.35, and that's a better number. The Nagantak got a 0.5 increase. I'm just looking at it because I'm like, a 0.5 increase just seems like it's good. I'll take any buff that I can, but I'm like, this seems a little petty. The Penta went up from 1.25 to 1.3, which is probably in direct correlation with the fact that it just got that Nightwave mod for it, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really like the Nightwave mod as much as I like the tether grenades that went up with it. The Quanta went up from 1 to 1.1. I'm happy about that. The Quanta, especially the Quanta Vandal, is pretty fucking juicy. If you guys have not checked out the Quanta Vandal, get on that one. The Rubico. Hashtag Vectus Prime for life, because hashtag Team Vectus Prime, hashtag Vectus Prime is the bestest Prime. I'm just saying. Sorry, Rubico Prime lovers. I know I shouldn't be so snarky because, you know, I'm probably feel mode. I'm probably going to scroll down and Vectus goes down one and I'm going to cry. Scourge was really good. They didn't give it too much of a bump, but it did get a bump, and I do like the Scourge a lot. The Simulor, I've seen a couple people rocking the Simulor as of late, and that's actually a pretty chunky boost. It went from, it's maybe one of the bigger upgrades. It's gone from 0.7 to 0.85, so that's a 0.15 increase, so that's nice. The Snipetron, which I could never get into. I could never freaking get into. Does anybody here like the Snipetron? Because I don't think anybody does. That's probably when it went up. The Soma also went up from 0.55, which, let's be real. The 0.55 on the Soma, that was just hateful. That was just bitter, petty hatefulness. Like, I don't know what it did to anybody's life where it had to get a 0.55. That's just mean. The Stratifar, went from a 1.25 to a 1.15. I'm rocking a pretty good Stradivar Riven, but I did notice a little bit of a hit on that one because I think I had 200% critical chance or something like that, and now it's back in the hundreds. The Cerberus went from 0.9 to 0.1. I'm glad because the Cerberus is kind of getting outshone by some of the other weapons as of late, so a nice little buff to that will be, we'll put it in line with things like the Tiburon, which took a hit from 1.3 down to 1.1. The Tonkor, yeah, why'd you give it a 0.75? You already nerfed it. You already nerfed the Tonkor to the point where it's no longer enjoyable. But you had to knock it down to a 0.75? Now it's a 0.95. Because they're realizing how mean they were to the Tonkor. Like, there needs to be some sort of mediator to come between the two. Maybe some counseling will help out DE versus the Tonkor. I understand, okay? The Torrid went from 1.2 to 1.3. Fucking eat my words. I fucking eat my words, didn't I? Fucking eat my goddamn bullshit words. The Vectus went from 0.92 to 0.85. Why? Why? Wait, whose is better? Whose is better? Rubico, 0.8. I still have 0.5 on you, motherfuckers. You motherfucking Rubico loving pieces of crap. The belt went from 1.1 to 1.2. It needs it. The Volcar, wow, they're taking a swing at all of the snipers. The Volcar is trash though. Get out of here. Zar, 1.08 to 1.15. Maybe it's because Rio hasn't been playing as of lately, so they're like, all right, we can buff it again. The Zurge has gone from 1.18 to 1.25. I'm liking the fact that they're giving some love to the crossbows. Let's move on to the secondaries. Oh, my soul just hurts from like the first few ones. Ak Bronco went up. No one cares. No one uses it. Ak Hagara went from 1.43 to 1.25. Hurts my soul. The Aklex goes from 0.92 to 0.85. Listen! Nobody's running around with Aklex these days. That's mean. The Akvasto went from 1.3 to 1.2. It's okay. Nobody cares about the Akvasto after the Ak Hagara came out. The Angstrom can go die in a fire, so I'm glad it went from 1.14 to 1.3. The Ballistica, I'm happy to see this on the list, from 0.95 to 1.05. Can somebody tell me when the Ballistica ever deserved a 0.95? The Ballistica was never that popular to deserve a 0.95. So that was just wrong of you. Glad to see it getting some love. The Brat goes from 0.95 to 0.11. It needed it. Nobody uses it. The Bronco can get the fuck out of here because it doesn't matter how much you buff it. It's still shit. The Catchmoon. The Catchmoon recently got a buff to its like projectile width, so it didn't collide as much, which I'm sure a lot of people loved. But it did go from 1 to 0.8. That's a 0.2 hit, you guys. That hurts. The Cyclone went from a 1.1, by the way, went from a 1.1 to a 1.11. By the way, say hi to our co-host today, Mr. Coke Zero. Dual Toxicist went from 1.25 to 1.3. If you have not been there to visit the Dual Toxicist, listen, they just upgraded their house and they've got a new car to show off to you. The Gamma... I'm happy. You guys know I love myself the Gamma car, the Cyanoid Gamma car specifically, but from 0.65 to 0.08, and I have our juicy ribbon for it, so thank you. Love you very much. The Hiku from 0.75 to 0.95, it needed it. Nobody was using it. The Hystrix went from 1.0. When was the last time they used the Hiku? I think a lot of people were using that to pop nullifier bubbles, but beyond that, nothing else, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. The Hystrix went from 1.05 to 1.1. It has so much potential to be such a good weapon. It's actually a pretty good weapon, but I'm happy it got a little bit love there. The Comac, which I don't think I still wouldn't pick up. The Kulsar, which I need to run. Oh, you hurt my soul, DE. The Lado, 1.4 to 1.35. Listen, Linda, you are just wrong. I'm angry at this. Why are you gonna buff the legs from 1 to 1.05, but you gonna hurt the Aklex, making it go from 0.92 to 0.85? That's just, you just wrong. You racist against the Axe series. You get Axe DE. Maybe it's because it's AK and it's DE, and they're like, listen, we're the only ones that can be two letters here. Get the fuck out. Moving along, we have the Merlock, which Vacor Merlock was actually pretty good too. So 0.8 isn't too bad. It's not, I still don't think it's deserving of a 0.8. The Ocucore, I have a ribbon for that I have not touched. So it went from 1 to 1.1, which is nice. The Plinks went from 1 to 1.1. Can anybody tell me if anyone discovered anything magical about the Plinks? Because remember, they said, the longer you stay with it, the more that you invest in it, the better it gets. And I was like, does it really? The Pox went from 0.95 to 1.05, which the Pox is a beast. And it's disgustingly powerful. So start using that one. That's definitely a one to revisit. The Prana went from 1 to 0.8 because DE is mean. Rattleguts went from 1 to 0.9 because DE is mean. The Sicarus went from 1.3 to 1.15 because DE is mean. And that's really just disrespectful. To go down 0.15, that's... You're wrong. You're wrong for that. The Sonicore 0.65 to 0.8. Now, is it me, or was the Sonicore like a little bit of like a hot commodity for a while? Like everybody kind of liked it for a hot second for like CC, then everybody got over the fact that it was kind of dumb and stupid. I hated it from the very beginning. The Sparrow went from 0.85 to 0.1. The Stubba goes from 1.25 to 1.3. Still a really good fucking name. Did DE just really knock all of the goddamn kit guns? That's mean. Those are our babies. We created those with love, and you want us to feel mediocre. Two Finger went from 1 to 0.85. Twin Gurkatas went from 0.85 to 1. Very good. Good. Glad to see them getting some love. Notice, Twin Gurkatas and the Penta, they both ended up getting Nightwave mods, and now they also have their own, now they also have boosts to their ribbons. Twin Gremlins went down from 1.14 to, or 1.4 to 1.3, and let's be real, that's kind of rude because it's not like the Twin Gremlins were ever going to be all that popular. The Twin Comac, 1.2, 1.25. The Twin Roga, give it all the love that it needs because those two need some love. The Vasta went from 1.4 to 1.35. The Zakti went from 1.1 to 1.2, and the Zylok went from 1 to 1.15. And let's face it, the Zylok needs a lot more love from that. So let's finish it off with what he said is, this is our first time determining disposition changes with the help of an internal ranking to help guide dispositions closer to where I feel they should be and offer a solid baseline that is less subject to fluctuation player usage stats. I know some of you guys love hearing how we reach these numbers, so I wanted to share a few pieces of insight on how this internal ranking affected the dispositions. Although still relatively popular among players for their ninja stylings, most bows have fallen behind the power curve for primaries, unless they're automatic or explode with a 6-meter radius. Throwing star weapons could use help for similar reasons when compared to other secondaries, therefore buffs across the board. Kit guns were a new introduction since our last wave of disposition changes. Even after accounting for increased popularity due to newness, their usage stats dwarfed most other weapons by a massive degree. Most kit guns received disposition decreases, but not all were hit as hard as they could have been because we factored in our personal interpretation of kit gun strength instead of relying solely on usage stats. Soma is an interesting case study. The Soma Prime is a constant staple across all levels of play ever since we gave the weapon as a part of Twitch Prime in 2017. With a mastery rank restriction of 7, it's intended to be one of the first primes a new player will acquire. This overall prevalence initially resulted in a low disposition, but our internal rankings will help bring it to a more respectable baseline in the future. Thanks for reading, Tenno, and look forward to another set of changes with our next Prime Access releases. For those asking, Melee Riven changes, we're still awaiting the completion of Melee 3.0 reworks, and they removed Erroneous Despair listing. Alright, so all in all, let me know down in the comments below, were there any things that you like had a guttural reaction to? They're like, no, my beautiful Riven! And y'all know you probably paid some good plat for that, or some shit ton of kuva for it too. Or were there some where you're like, yes, my Riven got so much better? Let me know what you're excited for down in the comments below, as well as any of your commentary on your feelings about this week's Nightwave. Tell us all of your feelings down in the little area there. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. Now, bitch, Rob gotta go do his taxes and watch Shazam. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!